So I think social media is a big one when it comes to for especially for creatives. It has become really 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 popular. In fact, it has become the main source of visual consumption, if you want to call it, for creatives, right? And especially Instagram, it has completely changed the game for photographers, and even for some like and even for filmmakers, not as much as YouTube, but perhaps there's a bit of filmmaking on Instagram. I've noticed over the past couple of years it has increased, and it is
Yeah.
currently increasing. And yeah, man, Instagram is a big one. A lot of people, everybody's on Instagram trying to post their photos, trying to trying to match their feeds and create some nice feeds. And I think like since it has become really huge, there has been certain expectations that have been set on IG, where you don't necessarily have those expectations when you first start, but as you start to move on and try to create content more and more and take photos and post, it becomes tricky, and it becomes Instagram starts to kind of corrupt your mind, if that makes sense. And a lot of people start to get caught up in chasing likes and followers, right? And you post a photo, and then it doesn't do as well, and then you're like, okay, why is this photo not doing as well as the other photo that I posted, for instance, 2 days ago? And am I getting worse, or am I getting or is my work not worthy enough? And the truth of the matter is, there are many like reasons for this, for why certain work is doing well and certain work is not doing well on Instagram. And yeah, I mean, like these other factors start to interfere on, it starts to corrupt you in a way. And some people might want to continue producing, and others might be like, okay, this is causing me a lot of I'm not actually doing well on this app. That means I'm not good at photography, and I might as well stop.
There's a
You know?
there's a very weird thing, is like your sense of what is good and what is bad is getting affected by the likes.
Yes, definitely.
Right? It's like if you're
I would
such a
say that.
you're
Yeah.
such a good
Yeah.
photographer, but then there's a photo that you love so much, but
Yeah,
you don't
yeah,
get
yeah,
as much like as. And then I heard from a photographer him saying that, at the beginning when he first started doing Instagram, he gets so much like for certain type of photo, but as years go by, he kind of grew as a photographer, so he started to have other interests in other things. But then people start to like, he get less likes for his new styles.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then when he posts something from the past, he gets so much like, and he gets very confused by like what is good or what is bad.
Yeah, yeah.
Like who is
Who decides?
it to define?
Yeah.
Exactly. Who decide what is good or what is bad? And he gets very frustrated because he wants people to like his new style, but people just don't appreciate it. So what should you do then? Like what is the goal of getting likes? What do you want from those likes? People start to think about these kind of questions.
Yeah. And also, like, so one of the things that I really started to think about is that when you compare, like, when you look at Instagram as a whole, like, there are different genres, and each person is doing his own thing. Some people are doing fashion, some people are modeling, other people are, doing different things on Instagram, right? And there are these niches, and everybody's doing his own thing. And to be honest, there are certain niches that do better than others, and photography is not necessarily one of them. Like, if you're really on Instagram to get likes and followers, then you're actually doing it wrong. Because I mean, if you look at, like, there are literally cute cat videos or cute cat photos that get way better likes and followers than one of the best photographers on Instagram, right? And so if you're really on Instagram for likes and followers, photography is not necessarily one of them, right? Like, there are many other things that you could do that will do you better in terms of likes and followers than photography, right? And so I think one thing that really helps is trying to rationalize, like, why are you doing this, and what's the reason? Why am I taking photos? Is it because I like the art form? Is it because I like to show other people my work and get feedback on it and perhaps improve? Or is it to get approval from other people that's not necessarily gonna help me on the long term, right? It might make me feel better when I post a photo that feeds the algorithm, but doesn't necessarily improve me on the long term, and allows me to do better in my field, right? And so yeah, I think that's one of the things that's really important to understand and perhaps rationalize when it comes to photography.
The thing is, I think throughout the years, it like the whole purpose, it really shifted a lot. And I feel like the main reason why Instagram shifted was because of all of the pros came in.
Yes.
So at the beginning, when I remember when I was in high school, I started using Instagram when I was in like 2013, 2012.
Yeah.
And you just posted like how you would do on Facebook, but it's just photos, right? But then once these massive like professional photographer came in, they kind of brought out like lift up the game. They start to take like insane pictures. And I remember there was this photographer called Jesse Driftwood. He started to posted Instagram posts with photos that were taken on DSLR, and Instagram didn't like that. They wanted you to post photos that were taken on your phone, right?
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, once you started, you just open the gate.
Yes.
And everyone's just gonna start do that because they need to have photos that are better than yours.
Yeah.
Right. And then the competition just started. But another thing is like at the beginning, it was kind of like an experimental thing. People didn't really know what to do with Instagram. There was not really like monetization. There were not really people making money from it, right? But then once the pros came in, advertisement came in, business people came in, and then like the likes start to have a purpose instead of just for fame.
Yeah.
Because you needed those likes to kind of prove it to these brands that, you know, some brands they pay you for posts, right?
Yeah.
So you kind of need those engagement and likes to prove to the advertisement companies that like you're paying me the right amount of money because I get this engagement. So like the following for likes kind of become for money. I feel like for certain people, maybe for other people, like photographers, it's like they need clients, maybe they need followers to basically I guess it's just for money, because if you really look at your followers, do you need them because you need fame or you need more jobs? I guess that's one question to ask, because for example, one of my coworker, she has around 1,000 followers on Instagram, but she get texted DMs every week by people asking her to do shit, and they paid her good money.
Yeah.
So what are you looking for likes? I guess that's the question. Is it for job or is it for just fame?
Yeah, I guess, likes help really well when it comes to reach, like reaching out other brands and other people. And if that's what you're doing, because you're 100% right, it has become more than a platform for posting cool photos. It has become more of a business, like it's a business place, right? Like people have their emails, brands reach out to these photographers and they hire them based off Instagram. And yes, but also at the same time, likes and followers don't necessarily mean everything, right? Like they don't necessarily determine how good you are, if that makes sense, right? To a certain extent. Because bro, I know really good people with very, very, very few following. And I know cats, bro, on Instagram that literally have millions of followers, right? And hundreds of thousands of followers.
I have cats account as well.
And I don't mean cats by cats. I mean cats of photographers who don't necessarily know what they're talking about, right? So it's actually both ways, and it depends on what you're in it for and what do you actually want, right? And I think like one of the things, like the algorithm kind of determines what gets to be shown for what gets to be shown for other people and what doesn't, if that makes sense. I mean, especially over the past over the past 2 years, the algorithm has really been really, really tough. Like I remember, like I would stop posting and then I would post a photo and then it would literally like reach like 300 people, where in the past I used to reach like 1,000 people or 2,000. So the reach has gotten really, really low. I'm pretty sure you have faced the same issue as well. Even though they're the same kind of photos.
The algorithm kind of determines what is good or bad at this
Yes.
point.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like the algorithm telling you if you're doing a good job or bad job, and people just look at the algorithm instead.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
nothing else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? You got affected by that as well.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of creatives, I think, have been affected by this as well. Yeah.
So what can they do though? What can they do? Like, do you have to really, because if you don't look at the numbers, then you can do what you want. But people kind of like, the point of it is to get, why would you upload on Instagram if it's not for the likes, right? What are you doing up there? What's the point of it? So you kind of want to feed the algorithm what they want, but at the same time you don't know what they're thinking of. And I feel like throughout the years, Instagram is very aware of the business that is going on Instagram. That's why they have business accounts.
Yes.
Right? And they're also very aware of TikTok.
Yes.
That's why they start to have things like filters and these weird new features that is kind of like copying TikTok, right? So I feel like they're aware of TikTok, and so it kind of went from purely photos to kind of content as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
They kind of want you. We post on Instagram like TV as well. They kind of want you to have content as well.
Yeah.
So for photographers, it's not just good looking photos, but you need to have like tutorials on how to take good photos. One of the best photographers on Instagram, I think his name is Jordi or something. He take like creative photos. It's not necessarily like the best. It's really good as a photographer, but he make it look so fun. Yeah. And then he gets like the most likes, and the algorithm just loved it.
Yeah.
So it's just all about the algorithm at the end.
Yeah. And now Reels have come out. I've noticed that Reels are becoming really, really popular, if you noticed. So there are I found a lot of photographers who are not necessarily good, but because they're doing the catchy reels, kind of like these TikTok reels with music and everything, and they get a lot of followers and they get a lot of traction from that. So I guess you have to play the game right. Like you don't necessarily have to have really, really, really good photos, but you have to play the game right. And I don't know about feeding the algorithm. Like, do you think we need to post photos in order to necessarily give the algorithm what it wants, or rather post what we like and share our journey or process of improvement throughout the years? Like, because as you develop as a photographer or as a creative, your interests change and your skills change and what you like change, and Instagram is a really, really good gallery to show that, right? Like, it shows you whatever you like, because first of all, you're probably going to post the best photos that you have, and these best photos, like it shows this gradual change throughout the years of what you liked and what you actually now like, and what have you changed in your photography and in your content, right? And I think Instagram does that
like
really,
a documentation, really well.
Right? Yeah, you could say that. It also, like, one thing that Instagram has done really has forced a change in the creative visual creative field, is that it has pushed this vertical aspect ratio more than the horizontal aspect ratio. Because I remember before Instagram, a lot of people, like, the normal thing was to take a photo horizontally with a camera, right? And as Instagram developed and people started to take it more seriously, we started to literally turn our cameras 90 degrees and take vertical photos, right?
Back then, we still have this third-party app to add to crop the photo to, like, we used to take horizontal, but you cannot post it on Instagram. They crop it for you. So there's app that helps you scale it and then add white bars for you, so you can upload the horizontal photos.
Yeah. I think that was interesting.
I used to do that.
Yeah.
And because of Instagram, I upload only vertical image. Because of Instagram, it affected us a lot.
It changes the way you think. Like, while you're taking photos, you're literally taking vertical, because they want to post them on Instagram. And I think
exactly.
It has changed the way we we produce our art form. But to be honest, I don't think that's necessarily consistent, and I'll tell you why. Because the way we see, right, the way we see is horizontal. We don't necessarily see vertical, right? And so I think for us, or at least I personally like horizontal photos way more than vertical, right? I feel like vertical aspect ratio is very much constraining in a way. I like square formats and I like horizontal formats because it feels more natural and more comfortable because that's how we see. Especially when we go to cinema, right? Cinema is very horizontal.
Yeah.
In fact, it's stretched, and I love that. I love cinema's aspect ratio because it feels more immersive in a way than Instagram, at least to me. Watching cinema in a horizontal format than this like kind of vertical format. So I don't know. Do you like vertical, or like what's your thought on this?
This is actually a very psychological thing for, especially for the next generation, younger people, people who grew up with like Apple products, or like they basically grew up with technology, and for them it's like a completely different thing. Because for us, we love vertical stuff, and they have a saying, say, because our eyes are like vertical, like left and right. So that's why we like to see horizontal visuals. But one thing is that some people did mention is that when you're FaceTiming people, let's say on your phone, when you're FaceTiming is vertical, right? And so you're used to the concept, okay, when I see vertical footage, it means that I'm talking to someone directly, right? And so they said that when you're doing content, like vertical content, it's more immersive because people, like, they're subconsciously, they feel like they're FaceTiming.
Actually, that's a very interesting point. And I never thought about
like
this.
They feel like they feel like they're, if you make like a content video, like you talk to the camera and stuff, and it's vertical, you would feel like it's more immersive because you feel like you're talking to the person directly. And in a way, that what it means is more immersive. But as you said, horizontal is supposed to be more immersive because visually it's more immersive. But right now, what they're talking about, this immersive, is more like technological wise. It's like, you get what I mean. It's like, in terms of the digital world, you're more immersed into the digital world because you feel like you're talking to the person directly through the internet. It's kind of hard to understand, but the word immersive is kind of different now at this point.
I think the medium has the, like, FaceTiming and like technology has forced us to accept what's immersive, you mean, right? Like, it has forced us to accept that vertical is more immersive because we are used to it. We are used to talking to other people in a vertical manner, right? With our phones placed in a vertical manner. And so that kind of transforms into these vertical videos and this vertical content of it makes us feel like we're actually talking to the other person on the other side of the person.
Well, I guess it
behind
depends
the camera.
on the individual, because some people might not use FaceTime as much as others. Right?
To be honest, I get the idea behind that. I think that's a very, very, very good point. But I still prefer horizontal aspect ratio. I still prefer to post in a horizontal manner, right? I mean, I post vertical because of Instagram, because of the medium, so people can so my photos look larger on people's feeds and they can look at it well. But I personally still prefer to post horizontal. I feel like it's more cinematic. It's more I don't know. I just personally prefer it because it feels more. I kind of gravitate towards it. It feels more immersive in a way. I can see the environment more, in my opinion.
But again, as you said, the idea of immersive is like, it depends on what medium you're using. Because if you're watching like in a cinema, of course it's like the best. But if you're just using your phone, there's no way to be immersive.
Perhaps, yes, that is right.
It's so small, right?
That is right.
Even if it's wide, it doesn't really make any sense. It has to be. It has to take most of your vision, your vision in a way.
I guess.
Right. Otherwise, there's no point. And also, like, I feel like it depends on what kind of media and what kind of platform you spend most of your time consuming. Because these younger generation people, if they spend most of the time on TikTok, they're gonna see way much more vertical videos than other type of videos.
Yes.
Probably even more than movies, right? How many movies do you watch per month? Maybe one or two.
Yeah, not a lot.
But they
Yeah.
watch TikTok every day,
Yeah.
right? So they're gonna see more vertical videos than horizontal, and they're gonna get used to it.
That is true.
I feel like it's all about getting used to it. But for us, we grew up watching TV and cinema, so our root is still like horizontal. I guess that would.
Yeah, actually, that's a
what
very
it is.
good point. I never thought about this. Yeah. So yeah, it depends on you're saying like it depends on the medium, right? Like phones fit vertical fits phones more.
And the size of it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
the size.
yeah.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah,
one thing that I started doing recently is that I started to because I want to post horizontal photos with cinematic aspect ratio. I started to post it vertically, and so you would have to flip your phone in order to see. I don't know if you noticed this.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I started
on
to
your
do
stories,
that.
right?
Yeah. Because I feel like I don't know. It looks I don't know. I think it looks more cinematic if I do this. Then, yeah.
You kind of feel like you get more things, right? You
Yes.
kind of feel like you see more things when
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
because if it's vertical, it's just the sky and the ground.
Yes.
But if it's horizontal, you see more
Of
more
the
of
environment. Yeah.
surroundings.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I have a question. Do you think Instagram has limited creativity for you, Kai?
Yeah, I think it does. But again, it's back to what we were saying at the beginning. It's like it's because I worried about what people like.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I feel
We all
and then
did.
so
We
it kind
all
of
did,
become
yeah.
like it kind of become like a limitation. It's like I have to do what they like, and you kind of guess what they like.
Yeah.
You think my niche is I do low light photography, and then it has to be like a certain type of thing, and then the other ones doesn't work. And sometimes a photo that I really didn't like, but I just wanted to post, so I posted it, and it gets so much likes.
Yes.
And you get so confused
Yeah.
about it, and then it's just like a mess at this point. But I feel like at one point, one way to kind of mess up the algorithm, but in a successful way,
Yeah.
is that you bring people from other platform to Instagram, and then the algorithm get very messed up. So it's like because I used to be very active on Reddit,
Okay.
and when I posted some like I was on some photography group on Reddit as well, and then when I post something, those people they get attracted. Like I bring those people from Reddit to Instagram,
Okay.
and then when I look at the stats on Instagram,
Yeah.
they get very messed up. Like there's some weird numbers that I've never seen before, and it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And then after a while, the numbers start to grow a bit. So I feel like the algorithm, if you really want to have some change, maybe you try to grow on different platforms. And I feel like Reddit is a good platform to grow also. I've got some followers because of Reddit and also YouTube. So
Okay.
when you try to kind of spread your audience through a different platform, and then maybe you can suddenly bring them into Instagram,
Yeah.
then you don't get so controlled by the Instagram algorithm. You get what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
don't follow by their rules. You
Yes.
bring people from the outside in, then you try to confuse the algorithm on Instagram. Then
Yeah.
they're gonna have to follow what your followers is all about.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I feel like one thing they do is they analyze your followers and see what they like.
Okay.
Right? At the
Yeah.
beginning, and I think they still do it now. So when you post on Instagram, they're gonna show your photo to your most loyal followers first, like 5 to 10 people. And then they're gonna like those 5 to 10 people are the ones who always like your photos.
Yeah.
So they show the photos to them first, and then if they like it, they will show it to more people. But if even these first people didn't like it, they will not show it to the next people.
Yeah.
And then nobody's gonna ever see those photos. It's kind of it kind of makes sense, but it's also what blocks your photos to more audience, and that's what stops the likes and make you
Yeah.
very frustrated. I don't know if you get that. You get very frustrated when you don't get a lot of likes.
Bro, I used to play with my mood like, okay, like is this photo not good, or am I not creating good photos? You start to ask yourself these questions which start to create doubt in your mind, right? And that doubt stops you from creating more, right? And that I think that's what's really bad about it. But also at the same time, I feel like Instagram has pushed me to create more, right? On the other hand, because I'm watching all these people do these awesome things, and I'm like, okay, I want to live up to what they're doing, right? And so I try to create more,
Yeah.
and it kind of creates this motivation for you because you're seeing you're seeing the competition and everybody's posting, and at the same time you start to want to post on Instagram, right? So yeah, there's a bit of that what you said, and there's a bit of a
Like the balance, right?
yes,
You have to
there's
balance
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. So I guess it's all psychological, like you said before, Kai. You should not allow it to uh, play with your head. You should not allow the likes and followers play with um, you should not allow them to affect your mood, and at the same time you should use what's useful about the platform in order to improve yourself, because these Instagram is a tool. You can use it to improve your work and improve enhance your skills, right? Because you can get feedback and know what's good and what's not sometimes. And so yeah, if you use it for that reason, I think it could be a really good tool for a positive change for your field, right? And yeah,
I feel like one of the biggest benefit that a lot of artists, especially photographers, they benefit from Instagram was the NFTs.
yeah,
Because because you always question like what's the point of having so much followers? You always ask it, does it give you really money?
yeah,
And for a specific group of photographers that are followers that they're not really making any money from Instagram, but they have so much followers,
yeah,
they're the one who made the NFTs.
yeah, definitely.
And they're the one actually who sold quite some NFTs. Like a lot of American photographers that I follow, they all have NFTs right now.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
because of their followings, they get to sell it.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
That was one benefit.